Hey everyone, in today's video I want to make a positive Wiz video talking about everything I like about the game. I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time, probably like a week ever since the birthday event started, but I just never got around to it. The gameplay in the background will probably be Overwatch. I'm not playing Wiz right now, so I don't have gameplay for it, unfortunately, until the new update comes out. But without further ado, let's get into things that I like about Wiz. So the first and the main thing, which I think is what attracts all players and including me, is gonna have to be the nostalgia of the game. So in case you guys don't know, or if you're a newer viewer on the channel, I came back to Wiz in 2020 after playing it when I was about like 12, 13 years old. I think I stopped playing, then I came back when I was 20. So that's that. And I immediately got hooked back onto the game again at 20. So much so to the point that I maxed out all 7 schools in under a year without using any cheats, just dueled up with my friend. I think a lot of players, including myself, have this idea of how Wiz used to be, and you know, we're not always wrong when it comes to these cases, right? And we get very upset when things change in the present day and it ruins that original perception of something we have in the game, which is why I think KingsIsle needs to be more careful when they're making big changes like Rochambeau in the future. But generally, yeah, I would say for the most part, what kept me coming back, I guess, and other players is going to have to be the nostalgia and, you know, just the idea of Wiz that players really like. For my next point, I want to talk about the present day. Now, obviously, I get a lot of critiques on the channel, being like, oh, all you do is complain and you're so negative, even though I literally talk about that stuff in the video, but they never stick around long enough to watch the video. If I was getting on every day to stream and make a YouTube video talking shit about the game, would I really be sitting here arguing with you the fact that I think Chrysalis and Azteca are cool worlds and not terrible worlds? Just think about that for a minute, guys. I do believe in the future of Wiz, but I'm just not playing it right now. And that's just kind of a thing of self-respect, right? I'm not going to pay for a game that doesn't update its product. And, you know, I've done everything in the game, right? So you can't make the argument of there's stuff to do in the game. I've literally done everything in the game. But I do believe in the future of Wiz personally. You know, talking to the devs, they do have a lot of great ideas. A couple of devs are honestly very good at listening as well. It's just the time it takes them to implement things in the game. But I'm a firm and genuine believer in if they do get these changes out to live realm, all the stuff they're talking about behind the scenes, I think Wiz is going to be great. Even if we look at Wiz the past couple of years, a lot of the, you know, more small quality of life changes have been really good. Yes, they've broken some things along the way, but we're not going to be pessimistic in this video. A lot of good changes are stuff like the pity system from Novus to Wallaroo, right? We don't have pay to win things in the game anymore. It's more so pay for convenience and not as pay to win. People still call it pay to win because the systems that are free in the game are so unreasonable compared to just paying it and how rewarding it is for paying for the product. I'll always be a firm believer in giving credit where it's due. I do think Wiz has done some right over the past couple of years. I think that is very important to give them credit for. Next thing I want to talk about is actually going to be the worlds. Now, if you watch the channel actively, you're probably like, Liam, I did not take you for a PvE player, but no, I genuinely like questing, right? This is why I quested all 7 schools to max in less than a year. I like questing, you know. I like the feeling of leveling up and the progression. You know, I like the aesthetics and, you know, the differences in every world in the game. Even stuff like Chrysalis and Azteca, which the community, I would say, hates in the game, I can still, you know, see the bright side. Like, I genuinely don't mind Chrysalis and Azteca in terms of like a lore, like update quality perspective, the art quality. It's really good. It's just the length of it is insane. But I really do like that every world is like distinct and different from the others. Even stuff like Winter Tusk and Grizzleheim. A lot of players love doing Grizzleheim and then Winter Tusk, including myself. But the thing is, even though Grizzleheim and Winter Tusk are still the same world, KingsIsle back then actually innovated on Winter Tusk and made it really good like meta gear, just a great difficult world, and the lore also got like cranked up as well. And the last two things I want to talk about that I like a lot about the game is going to have to be the stitching system, which basically allows you to just express yourself and stuff like that. One thing I don't like about the stitching system though is you can't pet or mount stitch yet, and they are working on that behind the scenes, but I feel like once they get that down, like you'll just be able to freely express yourself fully throughout the game, which is amazing, and I feel like that's only a positive for the game, and the community's been asking for that for quite some time, right? So I really like the idea of just being to openly express yourself on Wiz and just taking that all the way, as opposed to like halfway, which it kind of is right now in the game currently. I like that idea a lot. And the last thing I want to talk about are going to be the schools and their identities. Now, I'm going to try my best to not talk too much shit about this point, because I actually believe school identity is in a horrible spot right now. But, you know, putting the present day aside, what hooked me in the Wiz originally was how different every school was from the other one. There were very clear and huge gaps between each school, right? It's like Storm is the powerhouse. Nobody can compete or contest a Storm, right? And Myth was like a minion, stun school, that kind of thing, right? And then Ice was like the tank school, you know? There was basically just a very clear school that you would want to go into. And unfortunately nowadays, KingStyle has actually blended every school together to make them all pretty much feel the same, unfortunately, with Rochambeau and like the stat model, stuff like that, unfortunately. But the original legacy design of school identity, I think, was great, and that model worked, right? That's what all got us hooked onto the game, and like nostalgia baits us every year to come back and play the game, right guys? So it is a little unfortunate to see that go away, but you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? But that's pretty much the main things that keep me playing Wiz and, you know, make me happy to play this game. And I do make videos talking a lot of shit about the game, I'm not gonna lie, but it's always from a good place. I want to see the game do well. I do wish KingStyle the best. I hope that they can get these updates out in a more timely manner and tackle some of the bigger issues in the game that the community has been complaining about for years. But that's everything I got for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. What are your favorite things about Wizard101? Do you agree? Do you disagree about any of the points? Let me know down there in the comments. And if you made it this far, a like, rating, and a sub is always appreciated. Helps out the channel quite a bit, and I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.